Welcome to Victorious Living. Are you ready to unlock your full potential and experience the abundant life God has planned for you? We all face challenges, but on Victorious Living, we will equip you with practical tools and inspiring stories to help you live a life of victory. Let's prepare ourselves to learn something new today. Before we jump in, let's spread the victory. Share this video with someone who needs a fresh perspective. You were created for greatness. Let's dive in and discover how to live a life of victory.
If you are in a situation like that, I just want to say that, don't take your life lightly. I didn't take my life lightly after I got married to him. And I realized that God is going to help me work out my salvation through this situation that I am in. I had early on, when, everybody gets fights. When we're newly married, we started fighting a lot, which is very normal, I think. Initial 6 months.
One example, I'm curious. I thought you never fought.
No. When we start fighting, it is more like two hooligans fighting with each other.
Really?
Try me.
Just one example, like
we have fought about why are your shoes. I'm very organized. Okay, and I take it. I like, even if I'm dead tired, I would come back and I would fold my clothes, put them on a hanger. But this mister, now he has changed. He would come and his shoes will be everywhere, his clothes will be everywhere,
that's
and so on. And I asked him that, hey, why don't you put your stuff back? He's like, because I don't need to. We were newly married and we had a fight and blah, blah, and we got really dirty.
over scattered clothes.
Again and again. I'm like, I'm doing two people's stuff. Why am I doing two people's stuff? I was treating him more like a roommate. You do your own thing, I'll do my own thing. Pick up your stuff, and I'll pick up my stuff. I'm not here to pick up your stuff. And I think that fight got really dirty, and he screamed, I screamed, and that day, he said, I forgive you. But then I went to God and I said, Lord, it's really not about the marriage. It's really not about being a good wife. It's about being a good believer. Today, if you come back, I will be so ashamed of myself. So I have a simple formula, that is, work out your salvation through everything that you face. That's what I do. It's really not about taking 50 steps, do this is how God is going to change you 5 ways. If you want to work out your salvation, if you really believe God is coming back, like you said, you have to report to him.
Yes.
If you know there will be a personal account of your life. And and I say all these things, people think that I'm talking spiritually hyper, but the thing is that I've not had examples in my life. I've not had voices in my life while growing up, because I don't have a Christian upbringing. So thankfully, fortunately or unfortunately, Bible, Holy Spirit were the only things that I was left with. So simple. I try to work out my salvation. I knew I'm being placed in the middle of people who don't want me here. And how can I love them?
She's asking about your fight.
No, this is perfect. And then, did you come back to her saying sorry?
Oh, he said sorry to
Always.
me, yes.
Always.
He said, but I said
Do
this
you
to
buy her
him.
flowers?
No,
Gifts?
never. I don't like
See,
flowers.
I don't do all that.
No, but I don't like flowers. I'm not very feminine like
First
that.
time, actually, she fought with me for that. And then I
Not
like
the
to...
flower, it was a
cake. I'm like, she wants a cake all the time. I'm like, I'm taking you to this fine dining restaurant. Why do you want a
I
cake?
said, where is my cake? For my birthday.
So West Delhi, bro. Relax.
Best thing.
I'm like, I'm taking you out to we're going to a fine dining restaurant where there's going to be 5-course meal and we're going to have great stuff. And you're like, where's my 100 rupees ka cake?
But that's another thing that I have learned, last 5 years especially. There is this book called, The 5 Love Languages.
Yes.
Everybody is talking about learn your partner's love language.
Right.
But God has taught me something beyond that. Try to learn how your partner is trying to love you and receive that love. Even though you don't feel loved like that, but acknowledge that and see that effort. Like he after bad, it happens a lot when he feels like he's really hurt me. He won't really say sorry in a very expressive way, but he would say, do you want to go out for a coffee? But I want to hear a sorry, but I've learned with time that he is apologizing by saying that let's go out for coffee.
We have a lot of coffee.
Wonderful example.
A lot.
So that means a lot of going out after arguments.
Yeah.
No, now we had such a great time. I'm so bummed that we got married late. because I wanted to like hang out for like at least 5 years before we had kids. But yeah, because we are ghumakkads and we've always been. Even now we're ghumakkads with our kids also, because we are taking them out for coffee and breakfast and this and that. So I just like taking my family members out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So that's
yes. It's lovely to see you both grow as couple. I'm observing as a couple how you have grown. I see you when you are your pictures with your children. It's like they're on your shoulder, and you. I
Yeah.
can just sense that. Wow, Pastor Ranjit is such a wonderful father.
Yeah.
And when I see her wearing the South Indian outfit, that tells me that she really went out of her way to make things beautiful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Leadership tips, because lately I have seen you very involved in the ministry. You started your podcast, and your music was released on 2nd of October,
Yeah.
which actually was initiated in Link.
Yeah.
And I have a testimony related to it. You asked me to come and share,
Yeah.
and 2 days ago, I had passed out. You don't know that story. I had come and preached.
I
Yeah.
remember.
2 days after, before that incident, like I would come and preach, I passed out. I went to a place where there was a child who said that, "Why are you here? Your time hasn't come." So I came back to my body. I was in the ICU the whole night, and I was thinking to myself about the reporting thing. So if I would have died today, what did I leave behind? Though I was a pastor, preached so many times, and I knew about everything, that encounter changed me, taught me detachment, and I understood that everything is going to be left behind, whether personal things or ministry or people. One thing that will stay is I'm going to report to Jesus.
Yeah.
Like I will tell him what did I do with my life. And why I remember, because 2 days later I was very weak and I had gone and preached there.
And Link.
Wow.
I
Yes,
remember
at the
that.
Link.
Yeah.
So you are a very big part of my journey. That is one reason that I felt that we should have a discussion, sit and talk, and encourage people.
Absolutely.
That ministry is not all about talk, it's about how we walk.
Yeah.
So the people who are watching today, so they heard your life story, and I'm sure they're already encouraged. But what would you like to tell them about leadership and journey with Christ, both of you?
I would say that, like, for me, I think authenticity is very important in this fake world that we're living in, whether it be social media, whether it be all the things, whether it be even in ministry. And I think the more authentic we are, I think the more, like we haven't really connected in many years now, right? But I'm saying we still have that. It doesn't have to be like everything is become like मैं क्या पा सकता हूँ दूसरे व्यक्ति से, what, how can I leverage this connection? And we've just lost the whole fact of being authentic friends, authentic. We don't need to agree, but we can support in whatever way we can. That's what I feel. For anybody, for me, ministry is all about being authentic. And leadership, for me, I always tell people that that's Jesus told Peter, I want your boat as my platform to preach. So that's who I feel my leadership quality is, that I'm always available and I'm ready to serve and I'm willing to do anything and everything for the work. So I'm not interested. I don't resonate or like to associate with people who are like, oh, I'm the thing, kind of.
Yes.
I like, we're brothers, we're sisters. It's fine,
Yeah.
God has put us in a position of leadership, but that does not mean that you don't have access to me, or I have to show that I have a special place and you don't. And I don't like that kind of culture. Maybe because I was in the West and I saw millionaires, I saw big pastors, being like, hey, what's up, kind of thing. Not like yahan pe, where everybody's like, haan bhai, our goal is to become somebody, so we don't talk to anybody. And that just, and my dad is like that. So I've never seen, my dad doesn't have a personal assistant. People call him up from all over the country saying, मेरा टायर फट गया है, मेरे बच्चे को बीमार है, मेरे पास medicine नहीं है, and he still picks up the call and
He
responds.
has almost 4,000 pastors under him.
Yeah. So you need to see how and that's how I am. I'm accessible by anyone and everyone. You don't need to call me pastor. You can call me Ranjit. Doesn't matter. I'm not trying to go up in the level of titles. All this is not my vibe.
Wonderful. That's the one big reason that I so honor you and respect you as friend and
Yeah.
as a co-worker in the
Yeah.
vineyard of God. What is your tip for leadership? Because you are with him side by side and at the same time leading.
For women, if I want to say you're married to a pastor, um, and you feel like your husband is going in the right direction, he's following what God has called him to do, there is no separate ministry from him.
Yes.
That is very, very important thing to understand, that God blesses hierarchy. And he has called you, because early on I was a super duper introvert person. And initially, when there was so much of resistance towards me getting married to him from people, who have been Christians all their life, I felt burnt, and I was like, I don't want to be in ministry. This is what it means to be in ministry. I don't want to be in ministry. But God gave me a choice, and he said, well, I know my son. He's going to serve me. You want to join him or not, it's your choice. But there is no separate thing that you can ever achieve. So be under the authority of your husband, honor him, support him. And somehow this word support is, be his helper, is very underestimated. People think that being your husband's helper is just a helper. But I know that it is literally, as I've learned and grown with God, if you want to be a true leader, your husband will be leading. When he's leading people, he's walking, he's walking and people are following him. Being his helper means being the ground under his feet.
Yes.
If that, and you need to make that promise to yourself that no matter what, how hard it gets, his ground should not shake.
Wow.
He needs to keep walking. He needs to keep running. You need to be that ground. And that's what it means to be a true leader. And knowing that even though you will not probably ever be acknowledged, he acknowledges me a lot. Sometimes it becomes very creepy. I'm like, please stop appreciating so much. But even if you're not appreciated, you need to understand that your husband will not be able to do what he's doing if you won't be helping him, if you won't be supporting him, if you won't be, not just prayer, by the virtue of your character, by inviting people in your house when you are exhausted, when saying yes to him for the things that don't come naturally to you. He's like, can I call people over after the youth meeting? Yes. You're like, hey, this person is really struggling, and I know we have to go for a movie, but for 20 minutes, can I step outside and talk to this person? Yes. Because
Where you actually want to say no.
We actually want to say no, yes. But the thing is that I know, it's also very important to understand how your life partner is. Probably your husband, likes to draw a line. My husband doesn't. He doesn't like to draw a line. He doesn't have
Lines.
lines. He's like, come on, you want to shake hands?
Out of the box.
He's out of the box. And the thing is that it makes him happy.
Yes.
So it's also important to understand what makes your husband, who's a leader of a church or who's leader in his own regard, what makes him happy. And if you try to change that, you try to take that out of his life, he'll not be happy. And what are you going to achieve out of it? At the end of the day, you're reporting to God, and God is going to ask you, how did you represent me to your husband?
Yes.
It's all about representing Christ to people around you. Some people you will represent in a smaller capacity, but to some people, maybe their whole life will be dependent on, how you are following God in a personal walk. If I don't walk with God in a personal way, I don't think I'll be able to be a blessing to him. So it's not about me. I always say, if I wasn't saved, I would have been a pathetic wife and a ridiculously pathetic mother. So
Christ is so important.
Yes, just love the Lord. Be a God girl. Don't try to be a good girl. I never try to be a good girl. Be a God girl, because you would always come back and do the right thing for God. So that's
wonderful.
That's there.
Wonderful.
And rest, I think him and his mom, his dad, his sisters, they somehow gave me an impression initially, 1.5, 2 years of being married, that whether you try to work it out or not, we will always love you. So that gave me a security. I've never experienced security the way I have experienced it with his family, with his mom, with his dad. I remember praying a very silly prayer and telling God, can you please tell his mom to not try to love me? It disturbs me. I've told him this. Can you tell her not to love me? We can be cordial, because true love compels you to do better.
Yes.
She wasn't giving me any reason to be like, see, people are like that only. A lot of in-laws say that they accept daughter-in-laws. They say, we have accepted you, but they don't really give them a chance. But and people say, like you said, oh, you're really giving it your all. A lot of women do, but there has to be a response from the other side, which I was blessed enough to get.
Yes.
They observed, they saw she's trying,
Yes.
they appreciated.
They were very family.
Yes. So it was not just me living out my Christian life as best as I could. There was also people that God also surrounded with me, surrounded me with people who saw that and responded. So I can say that's grace.
It's actually very inspiring to hear you, and because I witnessed you very closely, both of you personally and through media, and just like the way you said, even though we don't talk, the bonding is still there.
Yeah.
So we don't text each other all the time, but we know we're there for each other. So it is wonderful, and thank you for being so authentic. That always is inspiring, and I'm sure your audience learned something from your life. But would you like to tell them something personally, and followed by prayer if you can?
Like I said before, is that, we appreciate who you are and what you do. And we're blessed to know you. We're blessed to know all that God is doing through you. And we stand with you, and we pray that God will take you higher and higher in all that you do. And, to all that are watching, just want you to know that forget about what anybody else says or thinks or expects out of you. Do what God wants you to do. And ultimately, that's the only thing that matters. Forget about Instagram, forget about social media, forget about likes, views. Find who you truly are in yourself. And, I always tell people that nobody knows the 12th disciple of Jesus after Judas. It's Matthias. And when you look about his life, his only qualification was he was with Jesus from the baptism till the crucifixion. That's it. So I want to let everybody know it's popular now to become somebody. But I request you and I urge you, be available for God. Don't try to be like him, be like her, act like him, act like her. Be with God, and God will lift you up in whatever way, shape or form. And I've seen that in my life, and I have never ever seen anything subpar happen in my life, because I've always been available in my life, and I will continue to do that. And that's what I want to encourage you with. Matthias, his foundation is in heaven. The 12th foundation in heaven is of Matthias, because he was faithful from the beginning till the end, like a Caleb. That's who I feel I am. I'm not a Joshua, I'm probably a Caleb, but ready to do something for the Lord at all times.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. And how would you like to say something to all the women?
I just want to say, love the Lord. Truly, truly love the Lord with all your heart, mind, and soul. Cliche, but it's easy to say it, but not that easy to live it. And just want to give a little warning that when you truly love the Lord, people say love the Lord, people say have faith, people say love people, but when you truly, truly start doing that, the same people will not like it. So be ready for that, popularity, being accepted. This is one of the curses of being in ministry, pastor's wife. The fame comes with it. Fame as in like within your church. I'm not saying like you get popular all over the world suddenly, but within your church, everybody will start saying you are amazing, you're such a blessing, you are precious, you are this, you are that. But when you will start doing the right thing, the same people will start not liking it. So your accountability is to God, and your reward will also come from God. So don't let, especially for this, because a woman plays so many roles. I learned it pretty late in my life that don't try to be a good mom, don't try to be a good wife, don't try to be a good daughter-in-law. Try to be a good daughter of God, and everything is gonna fall in place. Don't try to be a good pastor's wife. All of that doesn't matter. Just try to be a good child of God. Try to love God. Try to be loyal like a dog to God, and everything is gonna fall in place. If not now, then when Jesus will come back, it will fall in place for you. That's all.
Thank you so much for talking to our audience, and I'm sure that your lives are never the same again. I remind you, you're not watching us by chance, because one word from heaven can change your life. And know that we are praying for you. You can get in touch with us, and remember that God has already kept victory inside of you.
Amen.
You are supposed to live victorious.
Yes.
Thank you for watching another episode of Victorious Living. God bless you.
Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you were blessed by this message. Let's use this encouragement to spread hope and light not only in our own lives, but also in our families and communities. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment and let us know how God is working in your lives. Stay victorious and be blessed.